This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Tesla. The last time I looked at this company was back on July 14th, so I have a few weeks of price action to discuss. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. Also, thank you to those who already subscribed and like my videos. It means a lot. Just a reminder that I have no positions in this company, so I'll give an unbiased viewpoint. We will start out the technical analysis by going over what I see in the daily chart and potential price targets. Then we will wrap it up by looking over the long-term pattern on the weekly chart. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a vertical line where I left off, which was July 14th, and then I'll give you guys an update on what happened after that. So July 14th was right here, and what happened after that was we sold off a little bit, but we couldn't push through the EMA. The EMA was acting as support, and the sellers could not continue lower, and the buyers were stepping in. So it looks like we came back to this 630 level and we tested it multiple times, a triple test. So this was the first test, this was the second test, and this was the third test, and that's when we took off. So usually when we get 3 touches or a double test of this swing, we're probably going to continue higher. So the sellers just gave up, and that's what happened right here. We couldn't push the EMA, and then we had this blast up to test other levels. So what price could do is pull back in the short term to fill in this gap right here, because the market likes to fill in these gaps. Price closed right here and opened right here, so it looks like it stalled out around this 715 level. So it looks like it's going to pull back to fill in this gap. And also there was a breakout there. I'm going to put a vertical put a little trend line for you guys to see how this breakout right here. Price cannot move past this level for quite a while, and then finally we had this pop up. The price actually created this gap, and now it looks like it's going to pull back to test the breakout. So normally if we have a breakout, the price likes to test it at least once, maybe twice before continuing higher. So if this breakout holds, we will continue higher, but if it doesn't, we're going to fall back inside of the sideways action that price was in, which is right here. I'm going to clone this and I'll move this lower. So as you can see, it looks like price was in a little range. We had a couple legs up. This was the first leg up, the second leg up, and then we moved sideways. So if this is a successful breakout and we do continue higher, this is the expected target that price could reach right here. Let me just drag this up, and it looks like it would be the 772 level. I'm put a horizontal line for you guys there and show the percentage gain from right now, which would be out at a 10% gain. So in my past video back on July 14th, I said that we would get lower lows because I thought we were at the highs of the range. However, after reanalyzing and thinking about it from a different viewpoint, it looks like the lows of the range are about right here, this 556 level. And then if I drag it up, it looks like the highs of the range are right here. So first I had about right here, I believe it was right around the 717 level, 718 level, but it looks like it's a little higher than that, 745. That looks like what price is trying to do, is trying to slowly trend up to the top of the range or this measured move before selling off or finding some support and continuing higher. And that's where we previously sold off right here. I'm going to circle that. So normally we're going to see a reaction probably at this level because price took a sell off right here, and same thing that happened over here. See how we found support right here because price bounced over here previously and over here. So that's just how the market works. It likes to test these support and resistance levels a couple of times before continuing higher or lower. Yeah, so in my previous analysis I thought we would get this second leg down because we had 2 legs up, and that would make the center of the pattern. These were the 2 legs right here. This was the first leg, and if I just move it over to when we started moving up, it was a perfect measure move. We sold off, and that usually marks the center of the pattern. And then this was the first leg down, and this was the second leg down. So it looks like we just couldn't go any lower, and this would have been a nice target too, the 415 level, because there was a gap over here. And I also said we would, if we were to break out to the lower side of the range, because it looks like we would have got that second leg because the market moves in 2s, this would also have been the target. So it's a pretty close. Since I adjusted the range, it's a little past it, but before the range was a little shorter than I thought, which was right here, and that pretty much goes to the measured move. So those confluence there. However, we found that support way before, and it looks like price cannot come back lower, or we're still trending higher, or the range highs moved. So normally it's hard to tell where the highs are for the range. It's not really moving off a consistent level. So look at we're moving lower from this 715 level, 716 level. However, it looks like we also got rejected at the 746 level. So it's hard to tell where the highs of the range are. We just have to wait and see. But it looks like this could be it, because I'm not going to move it more and more higher, right? Because then it looks like we're just going to be trending up from there. But it looks like these are the highs of the range, most likely now, this 740 level. So expect a reaction around there if we don't get to that measured move first. So in the meantime, it looks like we are still following this little short-term trend that's working up. We got about a few 3 touches on the bottom, 4 touches to confirm it. Right here, this was a touch, and that's what also made it take off. Right here we had a double test to this level, and this was a test at the strong support level of the channel, and that's what also sent the prices higher. So this would make sense, this target, because it's also on the opposite side of the channel, because price moves up and down inside of the channel when it's trending up, and same way trending down. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit on the daily chart to show you guys the long-term pattern that I see here. And it looks like price is in an uptrend, and it looks like these are the lows of the range right here, lows of the channel. So at first I had it right there, a little more steeper, and I thought these were the closes outside. However, after, it's hard to tell exactly. It looks like the lows are right over here. So we had these 2 swings, so if I just drag it off of there, we just get a touch right there, and it looks like we're still slowly creeping up on it, as you can see here. So that's why we're still continuing higher, and price cannot make the second leg down because the major support level took over. So we could continue higher from here all the way up to testing the high, or even surpassing it. However, I don't like how it's creeping up over here. I'll show you guys that on the weekly chart later though. But that was mostly everything I wanted to cover on the daily chart, where I showed you guys what happened after I gave that video on Tesla. Looks like we just went sideways. We couldn't drop all the way down to the lows right here, and we were finding support at the channel and the bottom of the range right here, the small range. So we got a couple touches right here, a double test, and we got a couple tests of the lower side of the channel before price gave up. So that's what we got this pop up for. And now it looks like we're pulling back to film this breakout, and maybe even touch the EMA or this line right here before continuing higher. So we could see a double test, tested once, a tested twice before continuing higher, or we could just test it once or continue higher. Or the last option I could see happening is we just fall back inside of the range and find resistance and then continue lower. But it looks like there's a lot of signals telling me the trend will continue higher. We got the EMA pointing up now, acting as support. We got the small channel right here. I'm going to change the color to show you guys that how it looks different from the bigger channel that's working up. So we got the smaller channel working up and the bigger pattern that's working up. So there's a lot of reasons for price to continue higher, and we can still meet this measured move. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the weekly chart. And just a little tip. So my first analysis was we were going to continue lower, right? I thought we would break out of the lower side of the range and then fill in this gap around this 430 level and meet the measured move of this first leg down and then at the second leg. However, since we had a double test of this level, we failed and we continued higher. So that's what you would need to change your bias, right? So I'm not going to keep on thinking, hey, we're going to continue lower, we're going to continue lower, if we get a double test after my analysis and we continue higher. So it looks like if I was trading, you know, and I had a short position, I would have got out by now, because the price did not do what I expected, and there were signs telling me that, hey, they don't want to go down now. So that's the reason you got to switch your bias up. It looks like this bulls are stepping in now. So on the weekly chart, I'm just going to put the long-term pattern back on, which is right here. Just drag it up right there, adjust this so it fits close as possible. It looks like right around here. So it looks like price cannot go lower than this level right here. We got a lot of touches there, found a lot of support, and we continue to trend higher. However, I don't like what's happening right here. See how we got a lot of touches against the lower side of the channel right here? It's not really touching it. And then like blasting off. It's not really touching it and then getting rejection. We're kind of like just strolling along the side of the channel. However, doesn't mean we're gonna sell off right here and do this, right? Because that's what happened over here, and we got this big push up. So we could get the same thing here. However, price is still kind of in a larger pattern range, because look at the EMA was pointing up and now it's pretty much just flat. So we're still in this range. So I don't know if we're gonna continue to go higher from here, but that's the bigger probability. There's a better chance of us continuing higher than going lower now, I see. So we just have to wait and see how it plays out. Are we gonna break outside of the range and then test it and go continue higher to test these highs, or even surpass it right around here? Just have to wait and see, because price action can change, like I just showed you guys how the target was low on the lower side at like the 440s levels, 430 levels. However, price just gave up. It tested a couple times and it couldn't continue lower, so it's gonna probably do something else. So just a quick summary to wrap everything up. On the daily chart, there's a gap, so we're probably gonna come back to fill it and test the breakout. If the breakout holds, we will continue higher. If not, we will fall back inside of the range and we'll probably get more sideways action from there. However, the long-term pattern looks like we could sooner or later retest this high or even surpass it. Either way, even if we break outside of the channel, normally that's just how the market structure works. There's usually a new extreme that will be made. So we just have to wait and see when that happens. So I hope that was detailed out as possible and it gave a good explanation of what prices did and what it is doing and where it could be going. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel, since you might be surprised on what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also, share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel, since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time, and bye.